There is a substance hanging from every pine tree in every forest across North America, and it waterproofs leather canvas and cloth. It protects stitching from rot and moisture damage and total decay over time. It costs absolutely nothing to collect or apply by hand in any field. And the outdoor gear industry buried this knowledge because it kills the market for every spray wax cream and waterproofing product sold. If every hunter and camper knew how to use raw pine pitch the way old woodsmen did for centuries, the waterproofing aisle at every store would vanish permanently forever. This is the full story of the forgotten pine pitch waterproof seal method. Welcome to Hidden Timber. Rhett. If you are not subscribed yet, hit subscribe and the bell right now before we begin this one here today. This is where buried backwoods knowledge comes back to life for real. Long before synthetic waterproofing sprays existed, mountain men across the Appalachian Range collected raw pine resin from wounded tree bark. They heated it slowly, over low flame, until it turned into a smooth golden liquid that smelled exactly like the deep forest around them. In the early 1800s, fur trappers heading into the Rocky Mountain Territory carried small metal tins filled with hardened pine pitch. They melted those chunks over campfire coals every evening at dusk. Then they brushed the warm, golden liquid across every seam of their leather boots using a stick they carved that same afternoon at camp. The pitch soaked deep into leather fibers and sealed every pore shut against rain, snow, and cold creek water crossings ahead on the trail. One application lasted through full weeks of hard travel in rough terrain. They did the same to canvas packs and bedroll wraps before each trip. A thin layer of heated pine pitch turned raw canvas into a waterproof barrier that shed heavy rain just like smooth glass without moisture. Native American tribes across the Pacific Northwest had used conifer resin for waterproofing long before any European trapper arrived. The Tlingit people sealed canoe joints with spruce pitch, blended with animal fat and powdered charcoal from their campfires carefully. That mixture created a flexible waterproof compound strong enough to survive ocean waves and corrosive saltwater over extended voyages. Scandinavian settlers in the upper Midwest brought pine tar traditions from northern European forests, where it had been used for centuries. They waterproofed cabin roofs, tool handles, leather harnesses, and wool garments, all with heated pine resin applied by hand each season. By the mid-1800s, this was common outdoor knowledge shared across nearly every frontier community in the Western Territories. Everyone near pine forests understood the tree provided the best sealant nature could offer, and it was completely free to anyone willing. This video is just the surface of what has been buried by the industry. I collected everything the outdoor gear industry replaced with products, all of it inside the complete Forbidden Hunter's vault available now. Deadwood firecraft methods most modern. Campers never learn from anyone. Sub-zero heat methods built entirely from simple field logic and free materials around your campsite. Invisible camp setups, keeping your full presence hidden from everything in the woods completely. Appalachian meat storage that still works as perfectly now as it did generations back in time. Ghost scent methods that erase everything any deer nose can detect. Whitetail funnel logic that changes how you hunt in any terrain. 8 powerful modules all collected in one place with no fluff. The link is sitting right there in the description below this video, but stay right here because this video is just getting started now. Now the science behind pine pitch confirms what old woodsmen knew. Pine resin contains compounds called diterpene acids that are naturally hydrophobic, meaning they form a chemical barrier that actively repels water on any surface where the resin has been properly applied. A study from the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences confirmed that pine resin sealants reduce water absorption in natural fibers by up to 85% after just one single careful application. Compare that to commercial waterproofing sprays that typically reduce absorption by 50 to 60% and need reapplying every few weeks of regular use to maintain any real protection at all. Pine pitch also contains natural antimicrobial agents that prevent mold and mildew from growing on any treated fabric surface over time. Your gear does not just stay dry longer, it stays cleaner and resists rot. Commercial sprays offer zero antimicrobial value or benefit at all. They only create a thin surface layer that washes off in heavy rain. Pine pitch bonds directly with the actual fibers of the material. It does not sit on top waiting to be stripped away by the first rain. The United States Forest Service documented in their field manual from 1942 that pine pitch blended with rendered animal fat creates a flexible compound suitable for sealing boots and canvas down to -30 degrees Fahrenheit without cracking or losing flex. No. Modern spray claims performance at that kind of extreme cold. Most commercial products start failing below just 20 degrees. Pine pitch keeps working long after every synthetic spray has failed, and it comes from trees standing all around you in nearly every forest. If you made it this far, you already know more about waterproofing than most outdoor store shoppers will ever understand in a lifetime. Subscribe and share this with someone who still values real backwoods knowledge over expensive store-bought gear that needs full replacing every single season, without any exception at all ever. And remember, the complete vault is in the description right below. Now stay with me because the next part matters even more than before. So why does nobody teach pine pitch sealing as a real method anymore? Why did this proven technique disappear from outdoor culture over time? Because the global waterproofing spray market generates over $3 billion every single year across outdoor apparel, footwear and gear. Companies like Nikwax and Granger's sell products designed to be reapplied constantly after just a few uses each season, without exception. Their entire business model depends on you spraying your boots and jacket again every few weeks of regular outdoor use, without any alternative option available to you at any price point anywhere. A single can of premium waterproofing spray costs between $12 and $25 at any outdoor retailer or sporting goods. It lasts about 3 to 4 treatments from a single bottle only. Most serious hunters go through several bottles every single season just to keep basic gear sealed up against moisture and rain out there. That is over $100 per year, spent on products that raw pine pitch from a freestanding tree completely outperforms for you. If every outdoorsman learned to collect pine resin from trees on public land and heat it over a fire, the waterproofing product aisle would die. You cannot patent pine trees. You cannot trademark resin on bark. You cannot create a subscription around a substance that grows freely on every national forest in the country for anyone to collect now. You cannot build product dependency when a free natural substance can last much longer than anything manufactured and sold in a can. So the industry stopped mentioning it and pretended it was gone now. They replaced generational backwoods knowledge with slick advertising. They taught you to trust chemical spray cans over free pine trees nearby. They made you believe waterproofing always requires their product. Here is what to do next time you find yourself near pine trees in the woods on any land you have access to for hunting or camping. Find a pine tree with visible hardened resin anywhere on the bark. Look for amber-colored sap, dried at wound sites, or where branches broke off naturally and resin leaked out slowly over time there. Collect a generous handful of hardened pitch into a small metal tin. Do not cut the tree at all. Only take what already leaked and dried. Back at your camp place, that tin near hot glowing coals, not flames. Let the pitch melt down slowly into a smooth, warm, golden liquid. If you want added flexibility, then mix in some rendered animal fat. Deer tallow or even plain store-bought lard works fine for this use. About 1 part fat to every 4 parts of melted pine pitch resin. Stir gently with a wooden stick until fully combined in the tin now. Use that stick to brush the warm mixture across all your boot seams, paying extra close attention to the sole stitching where water enters. Apply a thin, even coat across all canvas packs, tarps and cloth gear. The pitch will darken the surface slightly as it bonds into fibers. That is a sign it is working and sealing deep into the material. Let it cool and harden fully for about 30 minutes before use. The surface will feel slightly tacky at first, then firm up solidly. Once it sets, you have a strong waterproof seal lasting many weeks. You can also apply this to knife sheaths and leather tool pouches. Any leather or canvas item in your pack benefits from this method. One application of pine pitch outlasts an entire can of spray by at least 3 to 4 full times in real-world field conditions. It bonds deeper into fibers and resists wear far more than spray. When it wears thin, you just reheat more pitch and reapply for free. No store trip needed, no $20 can, no plastic junk waste. Just you and the pine forest and a small campfire with hot coals. I need to be honest about one thing with this particular method now. Pine pitch does darken leather and canvas noticeably over time here. Your boots will not look brand new. After treatment with pitch resin, they will look like they belong to someone who lives in the woods and uses their gear in real weather every single season out there. If appearance matters more than function, this may not be your fit. But if keeping your feet dry through a cold November creek crossing matters more to you than a clean boot shine on display at home, then pine pitch is the absolute. This knowledge did not die out. It hardened on the bark waiting. It waited for someone willing to collect it and melt it again. Someone willing to remember how generations before us kept dry without ever buying a single spray product from any store shelf. If this video made any difference, then subscribe and share it. Every share preserves what the gear industry tried hard to bury. The complete vault is sitting in the description right below now. The next vault opens very soon, and what waits inside will change how you treat and protect your gear from this day forward always.